September 26, 2025, a 12-year-old boy left school in Mandeville, Jamaica like any other normal day. He was seen in public one last time and then he disappeared. No confirmed ride home, no confirmed witness after that moment, no trace of where he went next. His name is Jayden Smith, and he never made it home.
So, I want the viewers to uncover this. How does a child leave a known school route in a busy town and disappear without a single confirmed trace after that point? I'm Anya, and this is Anya Uncovered. This channel exists because missing children deserve more than a 9-day news cycle, because cold cases deserve more than a trending moment, because the names the world forgets are the names I refuse to stop saying. Today we're talking about Jayden Smith, a 13-year-old boy who disappeared at 12, whose case is still open, whose family is still waiting, and whose community has questions that remain unanswered. Let's uncover this. Jayden Smith lived in Wales District, Newport, Manchester, with his aunt Anne-Marie Thompson, the twin sister of his father who became his legal guardian when he was 5 years old. She was responsible for his care and documentation, and he remained in her custody up until the time of his disappearance. He attended Bethabara Primary School, where he performed strongly academically. At his graduation, he delivered the valedictorian speech at 12 years old. By September 2025, he had just started his first year at Manchester High School, a new chapter, one he never got to finish. He was about 5 feet tall, slim build, dark complexion, last seen in his khaki school uniform and brown shoes. That is who we're talking about today, not a statistic, not a case number, a child with a voice, a future, and a community that knew his name. That detail becomes important later. But knowing someone's name does not always mean you can find them. And what happened on that afternoon of September 26 exposed just how quickly a child can disappear between the last moment someone sees them and the moment someone realizes they are gone. September 26, 2025 was a Friday. Jayden left home around 6:15 that morning. His principal, Jasford Gabriel, confirmed later that Jayden was present at school for the entire day. He attended classes. He attended evening prayers. He left with the rest of the students when school dismissed. He was seen in Mandeville after dismissal, sometime between 4 and 5 p.m., and then the rain came. Heavy rainfall swept through Mandeville that evening. Streets blurred under headlights. Taxi roads slowed. Students scattered, rushing to get home before dark. The usual rhythm of the afternoon broke apart under the weight of the downpour. And somewhere between dismissal and nightfall, a 12-year-old boy vanished from the map. His usual taxi operators did not see him that day. When his guardians could not locate him around 7 p.m., they raised the alarm. Police were called, and what followed was one of the largest community searches Manchester had ever seen. The response was significant, and it deserves to be acknowledged. Teachers from Manchester High joined the search, firefighters, soldiers, community members, police officers who gave up their time. They combed through Perth Road and Wesley Road, pushing through the terrain that does not easily give up answers. The Jamaica Constabulary Force deployed drones from their unmanned aerial vehicle unit, cadaver dogs from their K9 unit. Personnel from the missing persons desk searched Jayden's family home in Wales and surrounding areas in Newport, Manchester. They found nothing. No trace, no physical evidence, no clear indication of what happened after that last confirmed sighting in Mandeville. Children rarely disappear without leaving some kind of trace, especially when they follow routines. Routines create patterns, and patterns usually create witnesses, which is what makes this case so unsettling. He had a known route. He had familiar taxi operators. He had a school community that recognized him, and still, there is no confirmed account of what happened after he left Mandeville that afternoon. The gap in that timeline is significant. When a search produces no physical evidence, investigators usually shift the focus to the people closest to the missing person, their relationships, their environment, their last known movements.
Let me walk you through the timeline gaps because this is where the case becomes complicated. Jayden was last confirmed at school during evening prayers. He was seen in Mandeville sometime between 4 and 5 p.m. His home in Wales Newport is approximately a 30 to 40 minute drive depending on route and traffic. His usual taxi operators did not report seeing him bored that afternoon. Heavy rain affected the visibility and travel conditions. No confirmed sightings placed him anywhere between Mandeville and his home. CCTV coverage along parts of the route would normally be a key focus in a case like this. Whether any footage was recovered, reviewed, or yielded useful evidence has never been publicly confirmed. That absence of information is itself part of the record. What we do know is there is a window of time between his last confirmed sighting and when his guardians raised the alarm. That window remains the central unanswered piece of the case, and that detail matters. So uncover this. Jayden had a routine, a known route, familiar faces on that road every single day. So the question that investigators and the community keep returning to is this. If taxi operators did not see him board that afternoon and no confirmed witness places him anywhere between Mandeville and home, what happened in that 30 to 40 minute window and who was on that road with him? Investigations into missing children often begin with the immediate circle, not because assumptions are made, but because that is where most reliable early information usually exists. The police investigated Jayden's guardians. Publicly, authorities stated that no charges were filed and that they had not announced evidence linking the family to his disappearance. But in Mandeville, the questions never disappeared. Rumors spread quietly throughout the community and loudly online. People focused on what happened in the days after Jayden vanished. Those claims remain unverified, but they became impossible to ignore. Investigators later returned to search the family home again. Residents took notice. Protesters did too. During a January 2026 demonstration, one speaker publicly claimed there was something out now for the family. Authorities never publicly explained what investigators ultimately concluded behind closed doors, and that silence became part of the mystery. Because in the absence of answers, suspicion kept growing. When a child disappears, silence does not calm people, it feeds them. Jayden is still gone. And until the truth surfaces, the questions surrounding his disappearance will remain alive. But the family was not the only institution under scrutiny. The school Jayden attended every day, where he was last confirmed present, also came under public attention. Manchester High School principal Jasford Gabriel confirmed Jayden's attendance in early interviews. He spoke about the school community's distress and their prayers during the search. Later in January 2026, protesters in Mandeville publicly stated that the principal had been suspended. No official explanation was released regarding the reason for that suspension. The Ministry of Education and school authorities did not provide a public clarification. Some community members linked the development to Jayden's case. Whether that connection is accurate has not been confirmed by authorities. A key question remains. Who was the last person at Manchester High School to see Jayden leave that campus? And has that account been fully examined? Exactly 1 month after Jayden disappeared, something powerful happened in Mandeville. Hundreds of residents dressed in black took the streets. They marched, they carried signs, they made noise because silence was no longer acceptable. One protester said plainly, We just need the government to come out and join us and do more. Give us some clarity, give us some closure. And if the authorities fail, we are taking this to the international level. That reflects a community that believes that response has not matched the urgency of a missing 12-year-old. Then Hurricane Melissa made landfall on October 28, 2025, a Category 5 storm that shifted national attention entirely toward disaster recovery. And like many missing child cases before it, Jayden's story was pushed further into the background. A petition was later filed on the Jamaica House portal requesting a full update and accountability. By February 2026, it had not reached the required threshold for official response. Now, I want to share my personal read on this case. This is my theory, not fact, not a criminal accusation, just an interpretation based on publicly discussed information, community reactions, and the timeline itself. But before I give you my theory, there is one detail that completely changes the emotional landscape of this case. The day before Jayden disappeared, his 2-year-old cousin reportedly suffered a broken femur while they were playing. Jayden was blamed for it. According to people close to the situation, that accusation weighed heavily on him. Think about that for a second. A 12-year-old boy being told he caused a devastating injury to a toddler inside his own home. Then less than 24 hours later, he vanishes. That timing matters. Some people believe the guilt or fear may have pushed him to run away. And yes, that possibility exists, especially considering statements from his guardian describing him as emotionally guarded and used to hardship from a young age. But here's where my mind keeps resisting that explanation. Children who run eventually appear somewhere, especially children with routines, friends, familiar taxi routes, teachers who know their face, communities that recognize them. They get hungry, they get frightened, they contact someone, a classmate, a relative, a stranger, anyone. But Jayden never resurfaced, not once. No confirmed sightings, no calls, no messages, nothing credible in over 7 months. That does not feel like a child simply hiding from punishment. To me, it feels like something interrupted that normal flow of that day after school ended. And when investigators look at disappearances like this, they often examine proximity, the people closest to the timeline, the environments connected to the child's final known movements, the individuals who had immediate access, awareness, or opportunity during those critical hours. There are still major unanswered questions surrounding multiple parts of this case. And to be fair, investigators may know far more than the public does. There may be evidence, interviews, or conclusions that have never been released publicly. But what remains undeniable is this. Someone knows what happened after Jayden left Mandeville that afternoon. Someone knows why a 12-year-old boy disappeared without a trace, and until the truth surfaces, that silence will continue to haunt this case. And there is another detail that keeps bothering me. A petition was created demanding answers for Jayden. Not justice years later, not a memorial page, answers. The petition remained open until February 28, 2026. By the time it closed, only one signature had been registered. Just one. Not his guardian signed, not the community members who marched through Mandeville dressed in black demanding action, not the thousands of people who discussed the case online. One person publicly attached their name to demanding answers for a missing child. Sit with that for a second, because that detail says something uncomfortable. Maybe people were afraid to publicly involve themselves in the case. Maybe attention faded after Hurricane Melissa pulled national focus elsewhere. Maybe people quietly lost hope. Or maybe all three are true. But regardless of the reason, the silence surrounding Jayden did not just come from investigators. It came from the public too. And that is part of what makes this case feel so haunting. A 12-year-old boy disappears without a trace, and eventually the noise dies down. The marches stop. The headlines fade. People move on, but Jayden never got the chance to. By January 2026, the Manchester Police Division confirmed that active search efforts had not produced results. Superintendent Kerry Duncan told the Jamaica Gleaner that the investigation remained open but not yielded significant breakthroughs. Jayden turned 13 in November 2025. He is still missing. No arrests, no charges, no confirmed answers. Just a child who left home one Friday morning and never returned. Somewhere in this timeline, there is a final ordinary moment before everything changed. A step, a road, a decision, a pause. And someone knows exactly where that moment ends. Until that information comes forward, Jayden Smith remains missing, 13 years old, unaccounted for, still waiting. If Jayden was last seen in a public area during normal school dismissal hours, surrounded by transport routes and familiar pathways, what part of that final window between school and home has never been fully explained or confirmed, and who has that answer? I'm Anya, and this has been Anya Uncovered. If you have any information about Jayden Smith, contact the Alligator Pond Police Station at 876-224-3113 or dial 119. You can remain anonymous. Share this video, send it, post it, keep his name alive. His name is Jayden Smith. He is 13 years old. He is still missing. Say his name.